Good morning, guys. So this morning, we're out hunting stuff to work on, and I think I've spotted something, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, 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 I think I see one. I think I see something. Oh man. It's an Isuzu. It's an NRR, check it out, in its natural habitat. Let's go over here and see what we can do. Maybe we can walk up on it, we won't spook it. Nah, I'm just playing. What's going on, guys? So this morning we are working on a Isuzu NRR. I think this is a 2019 or 2020. And we're having problems with the after treatment on this one. And what we've got here is the inlet and outlet NOX sensors are acting up. That measures the NOX going into the DPF and coming out of the DPF. It's basically an efficiency sensor to let you know that the after treatment system is reducing the amount of nitrogen oxides or whatever into the environment. And so these sensors are acting up. I'll get you the codes here in a little while when I remember what they were, but we're going to replace the inlet and the outlet NOx sensors on this truck. So yep, stick around and we'll get this one going. Alrighty, so this one right here is going to be the outlet NOx. And it's better to do this job when the pipes are hot and spray them with some WD-40 or PB Blaster or whatever and let them loosen up while the pipe's hot, because it makes life easier getting these things out. So we'll just take it out right there. And then we got a clip right here we got to get. Just take a pair of needle nose pliers right there, squeeze that together, pull it out. Same thing on that one. And then this one right here, we got a funky little clip right here. It's got teeth on it. And you gotta lift them up and spread them apart. And that one comes out. And then these clips come off the line right here. So you just spread them apart and pull them off, set to the side. Same thing on this one. Alright, that's got us almost all the way back to our control module there. And then it's going to be a 10 millimeter back here. There's two bolts. Holding the module on. There's one. We got one more to get. Get your other bolt off. And then the nozzle comes back and we got to unplug it. And it's got like a little blade connector on it. And we might have to go get us a flathead screwdriver to get in there on that one. And we'll just take us a flathead screwdriver and see if we can get that connector loose. So it's got a tab in the back that you push down and pull it out. I'm not going to be able to show you because it's just too tight. Too tight in there. So this is what you get right here. This is your whole sensor assembly. And check out your part number there. Make sure it matches the new one. So what we got here is eight nine 8246506 And I think what they do is when they make new ones, they change the last digit and they change it like a series number. It keeps going up, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. But these are both 89824s. So we'll stick this new one on here. And just put it back the same way it was. The pigtail came out this side. So we'll stick it back in, plug it in. Like that, I heard it click. And get us a bolt going. Okay, get us another bolt going. I apologize, guys. It's hard to see right in here. This is kind of a tight spot. Once you get it in there, just take your 10mm and tighten it down. And do the same thing on this other one down here. Alright, now we just reroute our line. And stick your sensor in right there. And we'll just put it in finger tight for right now until we get our wire straightened out here, because we got to put these clips back on it. So we'll just spread it apart and push it on there like that. Push it in right there. Take another clip, spread it apart, push it in. Like that. And just follow it along here. You got to give yourself enough slack to go against here because there's a clip, and then against here because there's a clip. So we'll go ahead and put this one on. Right there. Push it in right there. And this keeps this line off the heat. Because if this touches anything in here while it's regenerating or something, it gets hot. And then this little clip right here, if you can see it, it's got these teeth in it. And when you push it together, it locks in like that. And you got to lift it up on both sides to get it apart. Like that. So we'll just kind of get it oriented, kind of how we want it here. And squeeze it together, like that. And that's it. See, this wire is not touching nothing hot right here. So that's good. And we left this loose so our wire's not in a bind. So now we can go back, take a 7/8 and tighten this down. We don't want to kill it. That's all you need right there, just enough to snug it down. It's done. If you tighten this thing too tight, they're hell to get off, and if you get them too tight. So that's good. So that's one. That's our outlet NOX. Now we got one more we got to do. We got to do our inlet NOX. And I believe it's going to be in a whole different spot. Yeah, that one's gonna suck. I'm not looking forward to that one. Alright, the inlet NOX sensor, when you're looking at this thing in the back here, right down in that hole right there, that's the inlet NOX sensor right there. So we got to take this cover off, get it out of the way so we can get room to put a wrench on that and get that out. Alright, so we'll take us some spritz and get that lubricated really well. Let me get y'all where y'all can see what I'm doing here, maybe. Right in there. Okay. Okay, so I'll take these two nuts off here. I'll double wrench it here because those are on there pretty good. There we go. And then we got one more on the bottom. Alright, I'll take our line here and get it out of these little clips. That. And take this bracket off. And we'll just kind of, I think there's another clip on it back here somewhere that I can't see. Yeah, right there. It's got one of them little plastic clips that you got to squeeze with the needle nose pliers. So we'll take our needle nose here. There we go. Alright. Take that out. And this clip is the same as the other one. Right here, that's what it looks like. And you just spread it apart to take the line out. And you squeeze it right here with needle nose. Squeeze it right there and then pop it out of the bracket. That's how it comes out. Alright, now we need to bust that loose. I think it's 7/8. Yep, it is, but getting the wrench in here is going to hit everything. Yeah, I ain't got nowhere to swing a wrench. Okay. What we might have to do might be able to get it on right there. Maybe. No. Alright, I think that an O2 sensor socket might fit in there. Let me go grab an O2 sensor socket and see if that'll fit. Alright, here's your standard O2 car sensor socket. That might work. Let's try that. Alright, I think that got it. Yep, okay, good. That got it. We got lucky. Now we'll just unscrew this. And take this one out. Right there. And then we got to follow it over the frame and all the way up to the module. Alright, so you follow it up on this side of the frame rail here. And we're going all the way to the module. Here's the module right here. So we got some more clips to remove. Alright, that's got us all the way up there. Okay. Now it's the same deal. We got a 10mm bolt right here we got to take off. Oh, this one's got a nut on the back side, so I got to have another 10mm. Alright, so we'll put a 10 on this side and a 10 on this side. Move that. And over here on the other side, we got another one. And it's got a nut on it. Okay. Now, this will be a better view of the clip where it connects to the main harness. Pull all that out. Right here. That's where we got to disconnect it right there. And what you do is just take your thumb back here on the back, push it up, squeeze it together, and pull it apart like that. Okay, now we'll go get us a new sensor. Alright, and we'll check our part numbers on this one. Same deal, 89824, this is 65063, 65062. So probably just one more iteration up on that. Alright, now we'll just take our new sensor, plug it in, till you hear the click. And put it back in place. Put our nut back on. And do the same thing on the other one. It's just reversing what we just did. Okay, now we'll take our sensor and drop it back down. Through there. Plug it back into our holes here. And that'll be ready to go around the other side of the frame. We need to tighten up these now. And just snug them up so they don't fall off. You ain't got to kill it. There we go. Alright, now we're ready to get this thing back to its home pretty much. So we got it coming back down the rail here. Take your protective cap off. Put it back in the hole there. And we'll do the same thing like we did last time. Just go finger tight. Because you still want this to spin right here, so that way you're not putting your wire in a bind. And then we work on getting our bracket back on. So this bracket right here sits right there. So what we really need, that's where it's going to go. So I want to make sure we can get our wire behind that to hook it right there, and here to hook it. And it looks like we can. It looks like we're in pretty good shape. Alright. So in order to get a wrench in there though, I've got to go ahead and tighten it down now. So I'll go ahead and tighten it down. Otherwise I ain't going to be able to get nothing in there. So we'll do it like that, and then we'll take our O2 sensor socket, put it back on right there, and then we'll snug it up with that. Just give it a snug like that. That's all we need. Take that back off. Now we can go back and put our bracket in. Like that. And and get our two nuts started. That. Get this one on. That. Then we'll go back here and put our electrical line harness into this clip right here. And it just slides in like that. And that one just slides in like that. And then we got this plastic one, we got to put it back on. It goes like that, and you push it up. Push it back in the hole right there. Right like that. That way this line's not touching nothing hot right here. Okay. Now we can go back and tighten up these two. Tighten up these two bolts right here, and that'll be done. Right like that. Okay. Now we are good and tight. Okay. The verification for this is to use the IDSS Isuzu software and go in here and perform a manual parked regen. And when you put the truck in regen and everything gets hot and the truck starts regenerating, it does a system test. And it'll actually check all these sensors to make sure the temperature sensors are all working correctly. Everything's in the proper range. It'll also check the inlet here and the outlet NOx sensors to make sure that you're going to have a lot of NOx coming in, because where the engine's, combusting the diesel and making the NOx, you're going to have a lot going in. The trick is to make it to where that, like if you got 1,400 parts per million or whatever going in, or more than that, could be 2,000-3,000, I don't even know. But it should reduce it by like 80 or 90%. So the outlet NOx up here on top of the tailpipe will read like 15, 20, 30 parts per million. So you're going from like 2,000 to like 15. So it is a reduction, and it uses that DEF fluid, the diesel exhaust fluid, combined with the diesel particulate filter to reduce the emissions. So it really does reduce the NOx coming out of the tailpipe. But you have to keep these sensors changed out and keep this thing tuned up and make sure there's no engine problems or anything so that this system functions correctly. Because if you have engine problems, EGR problems, or your DPF cracks or something like that, or you get an injector messed up or something on your engine, it'll ruin this whole after treatment system. And these things are not cheap. They are very expensive to replace. So you got to make sure all these systems are kept up and everything's running properly all the time. So anyway, that's about all we're going to do for this one. We're going to go in there and clear the codes and get it into a regen and verify everything and make sure we're good to go. But thanks for watching, you guys, and stick around, and I'm sure we'll get into something else here shortly. So you guys have a good week and take it easy.